You're listening to Art Heroes Podcast, the show to help you thrive as a digital artist. Tune in to learn how to transform your passion into a career. Get inspired by other kick-ass 2D and 3D artists, and find out what it takes to be an art hero.
Hi guys, this is Maria JD. Thanks so much for tuning in. And if you're listening to this episode in November 2020, this means that probably the memories of the recent ZBrush Sculpt-Off are still pretty fresh in your head, at least if you were following it. And if you're not aware of what ZBrush Sculpt-Off is, I'm just going to quickly walk you through. Pretty much, it's the main sculpting event of the year. It's hosted by Pixologic team, and it always gathers some of the best ZBrush artists out there. And a really interesting thing about it this year is that ZBrush Sculpt-Off 2020 was completely online. Obviously, nobody could travel to LA to attend ZBrush Summit in person, and since Sculpt-Off is a part of a summit, it was also hosted entirely online. Anyway, back to the point. Today I'm talking to Sadan Vague, a guy who won the ZBrush Sculpt-Off this year, and I'm really excited to ask him what he did to prepare and what he thinks made his project stand out, well, and just in general, what he does for a living. Well, let's meet Sadan Vague, connecting directly from Lviv, Ukraine. Forgive me, Sadan, for pronouncing this wrong. Anyway, cheers, let's meet Sadan. Right, Sadan, we are now live, and thanks so much for coming on the show. Guys, everyone, we have Sadan Vague. I just learned to say his name correctly, only to my disappointment that it's not actually a real name. Hi, Sadan.
For now, it's just for now. Hi everyone. Thanks for welcoming me here.
Yeah, of course.
That's me. That's my first ever podcast. So
wow, amazing. Hello. It's like losing your podcasting virginity.
Yeah.
Amazing. I'm pretty glad that you're an Art Heroes podcast then.
And I think it's the first time like some sort of interview, I don't know, as a 3D artist.
Okay, I'm quite glad you're going to have a lot of practice right now. Actually, we also have a good reason, because you just won the ZBrush Sculpt-Off, right?
Yeah, that's my second goal from things that connected to ZBrush. Now I have the third one, then I need to.
So, okay, let's get back to this. Second goal, what was the first goal?
First goal was to start streaming for ZBrush.
Okay, so that has been going on for about 2 years now, right? So you've been streaming for ZBrush.
Yeah.
Okay, second one was Sculpt-Off. So
yes.
This is also done.
Yes, and third one is gonna be my presentation at ZBrush Summit.
Okay. Let's see how that goes. I'm gonna tag Pixologic guys in this.
I need to have some I don't know, some big titles in my portfolio or something like that. But I have hope.
Okay, I'm sure. Well,
we'll see.
Looking at your track record, at least I know that you've got a target, and and actually you're pretty good at getting to those. So yeah. Sadan, before we move too far from the ZBrush Summit this year, I really wanted to know your experience, because it's actually the first summit. Sorry, not the first summit as well, but also the first Sculpt-Off that was completely online. And it was non-selective, but that probably made it harder to participate and to obviously win. So what was it like for you, as of to participant?
It was hard, first of all, because for me, steampunk, cyberpunk, it's first of all, it's seriously connected to hard surface modeling.
Yes.
Which is not my strong side at all. and it was more, at least in my head, it was more character connected, which is
Yes.
also like character design is not my strong part. I like to do just some creepy stuff. So at first I was thinking about making some, I don't know, some of my usual scary bastard with some pipes, some tubes, I don't know, maybe some this cylindrical hat, and
Mm-hmm.
that's it. But mm,
Something
I
changed.
I couldn't find like a good
Like a concept.
yes. So then I decided, I was like scrolling through Pinterest, looking at some steampunk references, and I found some like just uh, like humanoid cat,
Yeah.
some black and white picture with a humanoid cat in suit, and I was like, okay, and I have a cat, the bald cat Sphinx. He's sleeping right now, but usually when I'm talking on my streams, he's uh,
He's
doing
just
the
there hanging out
streams.
with you, like your streaming
Uh,
partner.
yes, and he don't give me like to work fine.
Okay. Yeah, so rather not your partner, but like rather your streaming interrupter.
Yes, yes, he likes to interrupt my work every day, a lot of times, like constantly, because he needs attention. If he don't sleep and if he don't eat, then he needs some attention. So that's
So now I start connecting the dots in my head. Basically, your cat is like a model for your concept, just like put
yes,
in suit and everything.
for the head. No, basically, I thought that maybe I will do some person,
Hmm.
but to make to give him some personality, um, I would probably spend couple days just to find a good face.
Okay. So
And
like I start guessing that you've been practicing for Sculpt-Off for like a few weeks or something.
no,
Okay.
no, because they released a theme for this year's Sculpt Off. I think it was less than a week before
That's right,
Sculpt.
actually. Yes, yes, exactly.
Yes.
I absolutely missed that. Yes, 100%.
So half of that time I was like procrastinating because I wanted to like registered for this Sculpt Off right after it was announced, but then I spent like half of the period before actual Sculpt Off just for thinking about, oh, probably I won't make anything because it's steampunk. It's not my subject at all, and I don't wanna suck at this. And there's gonna be a lot of people. Like every year, there are actually some pretty solid artists. Uh, and this actual concept uh, started to appear just like, I don't know, maybe 2 days before Sculpt Off. And then I started like, I did uh, like a first attempt
Mm-hmm.
uh, trying to make this in 3 hours.
Okay.
And then I did like a few more attempts, and each time it was different. So head was different, proportion was different, and like even the detail on this like steampunk stuff, like on the hands, they actually like this some sort of robot cyborg hands. It
Yes.
was my very last uh, very last try about to make this like overall concept. I would just searching through the ZBrush what they have, like in the in the basic package, and I was like, okay, what can I use? What can I use? Let's take a look at mannequin folder. I was like, okay, frog, dog,
Okay.
uh, rhino, elephant. Oh, they have a human hand. I opened it and I was like, okay, I can use it. And it was probably like the fastest part of this character that I did, because like pretty clear steps. Like
Yeah.
here I need to pose, then
Yeah.
Dynamesh, then with polygroups, then remesh, delete some polygroups and replace them, and that's it. Boom, done. Yeah, and actually, every time I was trying to make this attempt in 3 hours, I failed because I didn't like it, like at all. Even the first one, which was okay, he was unfinished because I didn't make a good render. So
Oh, yes.
actually,
That's a big one.
yes, the last day I spent a few hours just to figure out about how it's gonna look.
Yeah.
And since it was allowed by the rules, I did preset like this ZBrush
You mean
BPR.
yeah, for the NPR render. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So I and still I changed it in the very end.
Oh my God.
Yes, already during the sculpt off.
Okay. Well, probably that was a good decision then. We don't know, but like,
Yes, because you know the what stuck in my head is this like um, one of the rules.
mhm.
Like you need to make a picture, so you post only one picture. So
Yeah.
basically, it doesn't matter a lot of things.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Yeah. Of
matter
course.
actually
Everything that's
because
outside of the
because
frame is like,
yes, and not only that, but actually you need to create a good render, in my opinion,
of course.
because
Yes.
it's oftentimes happens with a lot of people that when they have actually a pretty good model, and you can easily destroy it with a shitty render,
Yes.
like
I know. I know. Yeah, of course. Actually, so we did this preparation workshop, and
yes, I know. Pablo was talking about this at one of his streams.
yes, exactly. So Pablo and Marlon did
Yeah.
the workshop together, and I think like the key theme there is was that it's not about your model; it's about the illustration.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's actually about yeah, just knowing how to present it well eventually.
Yes. Yes. So that was like, oh, do I need to spend like a bunch of time to make some like super details and that kind of things? But then I like, okay, I really enjoyed this like outline and this illustration style, because like back in the days when I was working in super small indie studio, And I did some concept art, and also I did some models, not in ZBrush. Yes, and
Uh-huh.
when I was working there, we did just some mobile games.
Hmm.
So there were no reasons to work in ZBrush because we didn't use like uh, any maps, just diffuse. So
Right.
hand painted textures and all that stuff. So, and back in those days, we were working on one game which we didn't release, unfortunately. And the style of that game was actually like pretty similar to how this cat
So
looks.
like steampunkish.
No, no, no. In terms of
Ah, in terms of the
visual,
render. Yes. Okay, okay,
yes,
okay.
yes.
Got
So
it.
it was like cartoonish,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
stylized look with
Okay.
like this cell shading. Uh,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
so I decided just to go in that direction because to make it look good as a realistic
Yeah.
uh, internal ZBrush render is not that good, because it's easy to make like in Keyshot on with some PBR workflow.
Yeah, but this year the limitation was that it's ZBrush exclusively, so that's it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why
Good choice.
I
NPR.
was looking for this,
Yeah,
yes,
different
NPR.
solution.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
And
think that's a really good call, just keeping in mind what are the limitations and what are the limitations good for in this
yeah,
case.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So
So
how was your,
basically,
yeah,
like
sorry.
a lot of images after the competition, I was looking on them, and there was basically a lot of good models as a models.
Yeah.
I like a lot of them, but they uh, they was just as a models. So like solid background and just some view. It was
Mm-hmm.
not framed, weren't framed well, and that's kind of things. So it was like, oh, here is my VIP. Boom, screenshot. Boom, here. You can take a look.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. So how was your time split? Because, since you finished and managed to do everything, like all the steps, I mean, in between sculpting and presentation and what's in between, and I don't know, preparation. Let's say you have 3 hours. Let's say if you have to do another 3 hour finished piece, how would you split the time? Or how did you split the time?
Um, how did I split my time? I don't know, but somehow, like generally, my piece was finished in 2 hours,
Like
all
everything.
except render.
Okay,
Like
except render.
it was posed. It has every detail that I wanted to put there. So and then like and it was first time that I finished it in time. Like, and I
Okay.
still have some almost an hour of extra time to do render. That's why I changed my preset a little bit. I've added some like this flat frame behind the kit because I had some this extra time.
Right.
Yeah, but it was just because I did some like testings before that. So if I did like only one try before Sculpt-Off and then just like, okay, I'm ready, I'm the boss. I highly doubt that I could finish it in time.
Okay. Right. Well, really interesting. And like on the
Do
final
you
note,
mind if I?
no, I mean, like I'm on the other side of the world, dude.
Who knows?
I mean, it's
Sometimes people on my streams like, oh no, it's bad for you. Don't
well,
smoke.
I
Don't
mean, I'm not
smoke.
gonna doubt that, but
Okay. Okay.
but I mean, it's your cave. You can do whatever you want with your cave.
Yeah.
I guess our podcast is 18 plus anyway, so guys, don't take his
Okay.
example.
Okay. Okay. That's
Yeah.
good. That's good.
So, meanwhile, actually, just to round up with Sculpt Off,
Mhm.
like, do you have any like tips for somebody who's going to be doing this after you, like next year?
Um, well, just I think it might like small suggestion about my piece
Mm-hmm.
is that it has some again, just in my opinion, it has some background when you look at this guy.
Mm-hmm.
So
You mean
he
like a
is like
story?
yes, so like
Yeah.
background story about this guy. So he has some personality, not just some random piece, but actually like the piece from something bigger. So I think it's good to have this in mind, especially when you're working on a character. As you know, you can make a like completely independent like creature,
Right.
and you can put it anywhere you want. You can make like an animal, but when you work on the character, it's always this thing that a good character, when you look at this character, it has some story. So
Right.
it's not just like the generic dude or
Right.
girl
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
whatever who.
Yeah. So basically, just making sure that there is like, they can like the piece tells a story.
Yes, there's something
Mm-hmm.
behind it because
Mm-hmm.
the good thing about the sculpt off, but that you still have some time to prepare
Yes.
for
Exactly. Yeah.
competition. So it's not like uh, now I will tell you about this competition, and in 1 hour you need to start.
Yeah.
So we all had like a few days before to think, actually to think about it, not to start working on something, but actually to think about it.
So, in your opinion, the preparation is a big part of preparation is actually like thinking of the story and thinking of that piece and thinking of the concept and well, as you said, giving it a try a couple of times.
Yes, definitely, definitely, because especially for me, since I don't do any hard surface,
Yeah.
I was have to like figure out what I need to do with like this Z modeler to make it quick,
Yeah.
and what to use, how to use the different functions. Yeah, so you need to prepare, especially if you know that you have some weak spots in your
Okay.
workflow.
Okay. Good tip. Good tip. Well, I guess this all
Yeah.
becomes apparent when you know the theme and when you know like what you're going to be making more or less, then you can definitely like kind of start preparing.
Yeah. And also, I think you need to keep in mind that like the most common things
Hmm.
uh, someone is definitely gonna use.
Oh,
So,
yes.
like, for example, with steampunk, you better be sure that there will be at least a couple people that is gonna use the cylindrical head. So, like, no way that no one will use it, only you. So
Yeah.
just a golden rule. I think everything, with everything, then if you need to make an orc,
Yeah.
there is definitely be someone who will make it like totally green, like in Warcraft, for example. So no
Okay, that's
doubt.
another good idea. That's another good example. Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think it's good to
So
like,
basically, the tip is a bit different. Like, try to be at least stand out with your artwork as always.
yes, at
Okay.
least in something, like in concept, in render, in framing, because you can like easily make like super wide perspective for your piece and make it look like super dynamic, uh, but you still can keep it like pretty simple.
Right.
But because you did it like completely different, and it doesn't look like everybody else's uh, pretty like static
Yeah.
renders, it's gonna be outstanding, at least in this area.
Right, right. I see. Well, cool. I think that's already like a bunch of good tips. But I actually wanted to move a little bit like aside from ZBrush Sculpt-Off because that's really just like 3 hours. And I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, okay, they're really exciting 3 hours, but like
yeah.
you do a bunch of other stuff. And I normally start with just like um, I would normally start with you, but let's say we're just like restarting again. So when you're not ZBrushing for the summit, for the sculpt off, um, what do you do? And what's your focus on? Like, what you're focused on these days? I
Uh,
mean, your portfolio is absolutely different from many things that I've seen. I mean, it's just like you have this style. So, and we're showing this as we're talking, but I'm just like curious, how do you find application to your style?
well, first of all, you won't find any like professional or work for a client in my portfolio. So everything there is
Okay.
personal stuff.
Okay. So what you're saying is basically like you've got two personalities, one of them in art station and another one works for your clients.
It's not that basically.
Well, good to
It's the
know.
same personality because the if I have a client, they connect to me because of my personal stuff.
Yeah, I was just going to warn your clients live. It's like, hey guys, if you're hiring Sadan, you never know what you get.
No, they every time
Sorry.
know what they can get because since I like four, it's already almost 4.5 years since I quit my like this regular job uh, in the office,
So
and
you actually had an office job? Shocker. Really?
for 4 years almost. No,
Wow.
actually, it was even more than 4 years.
Wow. Okay.
But I
I'm not going to talk
can't
about that.
show.
Fine.
I'm not gonna show anything that I did during that period, because
Okay.
I came there in that studio as some sort of concept artist.
Hmm.
But since it was small studio, I
Well, it was
did.
still a studio. I actually thought for a second that you didn't have even a creative job anyway. So now I know it was a studio. That's okay.
Yeah, yeah, yes. It was a game studio, small
Yeah.
indie game studio, and uh, during that 4 years, I did a lot of different stuff. So actually, I did modeling, concepting, texturing, characters,
Hmm.
creatures, environment, which is like my super weak spot, but still, I had to do that, and some visual effects, and mm, even some UI elements, I guess.
Wow.
some icons.
Oh my God, that's like everything.
Yeah. Yes.
Did you also have to do accounting?
What?
No, no, sorry. Stupid joke. I was asking
No.
if you also had to do accounting, like finances.
No, 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 no.
Okay, okay, I'm glad.
Fortunately, no.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but actually, I didn't make any sculpts.
Okay.
So just like last 2 months or 3 months, I started to use ZBrush at really low level, because at that period I knew that I'm gonna leave that office,
Mm-hmm.
and I knew that I need to know ZBrush to find a new job, especially as a freelancer, because you need to do a variety of jobs. Um, yeah, so after I quit, I spent 2 3 months just to learn ZBrush,
Right.
and it was a spring, and in the end of summer I actually got my first job as a freelancer.
Wow, okay. That was pretty good.
Yeah, but actually uh, I worked almost like uh, 2 years with just one client,
Okay.
and I actually did mostly more technical stuff.
Okay.
So there was
Like what?
not like preparation models for
Okay.
rigging,
Okay.
and like retopology, and then I started to work with the blend shapes.
But all
So
of this was remote, right? Already,
yes, yes.
which is
There
really
was
good.
like a few months on one project with that client there I actually spent in office. So the
Okay.
office was in Czech Republic,
Okay.
and I went there for 2 months for that exact project.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but then I worked again remotely.
Mm-hmm.
Then again I uh, like stopped to work with that client because I wanted to work on something else, maybe something more creative, maybe just something different.
And so, what are your main industries now?
And no, in no main industry now.
So it's just like dispersed among like all the possible options.
Yeah, the my last year I spent working with the 3D scan data.
Okay.
So I worked on some advertisement with these models almost for a whole year.
Okay.
This year started from like high poly models for a game, and then like full pipeline models for a game. Then again work with the scan data, and like last couple months it's game models, and
Yeah.
suddenly finally collectibles.
So finally, it's just like you really wanted to work on it, or just because it was missing?
You know, uh, it's mostly sculpting,
Okay. Yeah.
and since I started to, I mean, I am the artist and I am not technical minded person.
Okay.
So for me, it's like creative process. It's like the most excited in like
Okay.
in whole industry. But you know, uh, it's actually hard to to find a spot for this like small, super small area. Like everyone want to like design creatures,
Right.
creepy stuff. Probably, I think so.
Don't
Yeah,
know.
but there is not that much space for that.
So, how do you think you're, speaking about like practical stuff? Because I think getting a remote job, well, okay, that was before, this like the whole like COVID stuff, but still getting a remote job in under a year, actually in a number of months is really, really quick. So, how prepared were you? What did you do before? So, did you already have like a rich art station profile? Or did you really like just um jumped into that with nothing? Or yeah, what was your kind of a job strategy?
I didn't have any strategy for that. I just knew I need to find a job because I need some income.
Yeah, I need to feed a cat probably, right?
Yes. So actually, I was just going through the ArtStation jobs,
Okay.
and I found one that I was like, okay, probably I can make it.
Okay.
And I was lucky enough to being hired for that,
Okay.
and that's it. Like basically, that job gave me more time to learn because
Okay.
when I was working in the office, mostly the soft where I worked was soft image
Yeah.
and Unity
Yes.
a bit just for some specific stuff and Photoshop, I
Okay.
guess, and that was it. And that was like three packages that I knew after I quit my job. So right after I quit my job, I knew that I need to learn like ZBrush. I need to start learning like Substance.
Yeah.
I need to know Maya because at that moment, soft image was already like uh,
Well, I guess yeah, it was just like out of trend.
yeah, but I still like to use it because it's a pretty good modeling software, like really, really good.
Yeah, but
And it's
yeah.
super stable when you compare it with Maya still.
But I guess unfortunately we don't choose really the software to use. It's really about the pipeline and how well you can fit in this pipeline. I mean, you don't always choose. Sometimes you can.
You know, I think when you work in the studio,
Yeah.
maybe it's a matter of the studio pipeline.
Yeah.
But when you work as like let's say like
Like a
character artist,
freelancer or contractor.
yes, no, I mean more specifically as a character artist. Yes.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter which software you're gonna use for to make this character, right? So
Okay.
because in the end you're gonna give like FBX or OBJ
Yeah.
with a PNG textures, and that's it. So it doesn't matter if you will use even the Photoshop for the textures. It's just a matter of a final product because you need to
Well, that's
deliver
a good
final
call.
product with specific resolution.
Yeah.
And again, it's gonna be FBX or OBJ. That's it.
Yeah.
So I didn't have like probably any clients that I was have to make some other formats.
Okay.
Just
That
Maya
that, that
maybe
is
at
really
that.
interesting. That is really interesting. I mean, it's just everybody's experience is so different, but that's really cool. Like, yeah, just different. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, like right now, I guess you're not actively looking for clients. It's more of it's like comes naturally, more or less.
Yes, yes, yes.
Or you still
Because
do something.
what do you mean?
No, I don't know. Just like
Some.
still apply to jobs or still,
Yes, from time to time, because I still want to make at least something like bigger than I did for a movie,
okay.
because it's also like to do.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's one of the other goals. Okay, I see now.
Yeah, so I've had one credit in a series, like Netflix series, like
Okay.
2 years ago, I guess.
Well,
uh
that's already like job done, no? Or that doesn't count.
but
Yeah,
it
you can
was
always get more, of course. Yes.
yes, basically I want to, like, the big goal is to have actually my design in a movie. So not like when you're working with some VFX studios and you're
Mm.
making VFX stuff for the studios, your work as a 3D artist usually is 3D modeler. So you're working on already existed
Concept.
concepts, yeah,
Yeah.
and your job is just to make a 3D model of it. And I actually want to have my design, like my exact design
Okay.
in some
So this
movie.
is more of like a concept art, like 3D concept artist job.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
I can make it like even the final model. I can deliver it. No worries about that. I just want to have like my design in it. It's I don't know if it's an ego thing or maybe something
Don't
else.
worry. I think you're just an artist. That's okay. Like it's not an ego.
Oh, each artist have an ego, and it depends of how big it is.
Can't judge that. I'm sure it's fine. It's like I think it's really awesome to just to have like goals or ambitions or just something that pushes you further, like pushes your quality, pushes your I don't know, even just like imagination and creativity, so you can just like do something every day or just like do something new every day. Otherwise, why do we all work on this stuff?
Yeah, and it's always surprised me uh, when I get some goals, because I'm originally from like super small village,
Okay.
super small. The population of that village is less than 200 people.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
That is actually
So,
small. Okay. So, and then for the record, it's probably in Ukraine, right?
yes.
Okay.
So
Well,
it's
I
like,
mean, since you're now in Ukraine, okay, yeah, fine.
yeah.
Wow.
And it always surprised me when I get some like bigger goals, and I'm always happy about that. So it's not like my goals is not about like making a lot of money or something like that. It's more about uh, I don't know, maybe some motivational stuff, and
Yeah.
it doesn't matter where you're from or who you are, you still can make something.
That is really cool. So actually, I'm just like looking at your art station now, and I really, it's just like really full of this creative and really different pieces. And like, do you mind I share a screen
Yes, you want
with
to talk
I
about
mean, a
something
screen of with your art station so that I make sure that you
with
know.
me,
No, like, do
with
you see
everybody?
it?
Yes, yes,
Yeah, well,
yes.
with everybody actually. So if
Okay.
you're seeing it
But
now,
I
that is
see just a small part. Like,
really okay.
yes, yes.
Now, do you see the big
Yes,
big
yes, yes.
part?
Now it's fine. Yeah.
Okay, yes. Okay, so no, just like, all the crazy models, and I don't know how old is your art station, like as of like when you started, when you opened the profile. Do you remember when was that?
I I think I started to feel it maybe right after I quit my job,
So let's say
or
it's like roughly
just
3-4
before.
years or something.
Yes, a bit
Yeah.
of, but I removed a bunch of stuff from
Well,
there.
yes, I'm not. Oh wow, I can see the cat.
N- Oh yeah, yeah.
Like, yeah, now I will soon start recognizing the cat. Well, that's
Yeah,
probably,
it's like somehow this piece became pretty popular over the Instagram, I
yeah.
think.
Oh, everybody loves cats anyway, so that's probably not only me. Yeah. Anyway, so just like there's this clear style, and just um, if you're saying that all of those are personal works,
Hmm.
so like how often do you work on your personal projects? And
Every day.
okay, okay. And so how long do you give yourself to finish one personal project normally? Like, do you have anything like a timeline?
I don't have, but I don't like spend a lot of time generally on everything.
Okay.
But still, sometimes I can spend even like more than a month every day's work to finish it, because at some point I'm like, okay, this result is fine, because I never happy with my stuff, like never ever ever.
Okay.
It's all crap for me. But still, at some point, I'm finishing it, and because I'm starting to get bored
Yeah.
with it, and that's another reason why I like to do different stuff. That's why I still work with game models, uh, with collectibles, and even with 3D stuff. Because here in Ukraine, I have a long-term project with my friends about saving cultural heritage,
Okay.
and where we scanning like super famous Baroque sculptor
Oh wow. Okay.
from Ukraine. Yeah, he's like super unique. Every time that I talk about him, I need to say that he's super unique guy, and I'm
What's
pretty
his
sure
name?
Pinzel.
Okay.
I think later this year I will make a post in our station with the stuff I did for that project. So it's about 3D scan data, because I do most of the modeling, cleaning, texturing, topology stuff for that models. They give me like a rough models, and I need to clean that stuff for
Okay.
printing purposes, for renders,
Mm-hmm.
and that kind of things. And I
So that
like to work on that as
so that's
well.
another project on your plate. I mean, I actually
Yes.
stopped counting. Like, so in addition to personal project and the cultural heritage project, and then the client work, there's just that's kind of it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. This is crazy. That actually means that ZBrush Sculpt-Off for you was just like, oh my god, of course I'm going to do this in 3 hours.
No, no, at all. Because it was my, I think, second competition
Okay.
in terms of art.
Okay.
Yes. I have, I have a strange background as an artist, because my first university was technical university where I supposed to be a programmer. My second university was actually art university, but my specialty was restoring of
Oh,
oil
yeah.
paintings.
Okay, so that is quite a strange background. Yeah, yeah. So from there to ZBrush, we're actually like, yeah, moving several centuries.
Yes, and after that, when I finished my education at art university, I spent no, I did it even during my education there. Maybe 3 or 4 years, I was pretty active as a contemporary artist.
Okay.
Yeah, I did some exhibitions, and I even have one of my pieces in Moscow back in the days at some exhibition. I remember it. Yeah, but then I finished my education in university, and I was like, okay, I need to find a job. And maybe year more, I did some stuff for exhibitions, but then I stopped
Okay.
completely, and I quit as a contemporary artist.
Okay. Well, I guess, you never entirely quit this stuff anyway.
Yeah, super easy. Like
Okay.
I don't want to go back in that area of art. So
Well, now you know that you've done it all. You know exactly how it looks like when you work in one or another. So,
yeah,
that
so
is like a
it's
great thing.
experience.
Yeah, man. Wow, that is exciting. That is such a story. Seriously. This is crazy. Yeah, didn't expect that. Totally. Yeah. Have you actually, just out of curiosity, have you restored any oil paintings like as a job?
Oh yes, my diploma was restoring painting of one of the student of Da Vinci, I guess, but I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, you mean like your final project for your diploma?
Yes,
Oh
yes.
my God. Okay.
Then during
Well,
my education, I restored, I don't know how many paintings, maybe 3 or 4, because
wow.
it's a long process, It's like um,
Wow.
I'm
So
not
after
sure.
after this long process, like definitely like digital art is like way quicker than that.
Oh, definitely, definitely. And you don't need to know chemistry.
Yeah, chemistry.
Yeah. You don't have to know like chemistry at all.
Wow, man, amazing. So look, actually, like as we're running out of time and we're rounding up, I've got the tradition that we always do it at the podcast, and you probably already heard of like 10 questions in the very end. So I'm just gonna run you through the 10 questions, and you're allowed to answer with one sentence tops. So maybe like a few words or one sentence max. Yeah, you ready?
Let's try.
Okay. Okay. Well, let's try. Well, I said one sentence you've got.
Okay.
So, what's number one tip for combating distractions when you're working from home for you?
For what?
So, like your number one tip for fighting distractions when working from home.
Find a really exciting task for you.
Okay, good. What's your favorite tradition or holiday?
I don't have any.
Right. I'll try to believe that. What's your favorite way to get in some exercise? Like favorite exercise style, sport, whatever.
Mm, Just go to the gym, and that's it. That's how
You
I
go to the,
started.
okay, okay,
Yes, I started this year again.
okay. Well, Proud of you. That's good. That's always good. um, what's your source of inspiration?
Uh, Something inside my head. I don't know how
Really?
to call it. Usually, mostly, yeah.
Okay. Wow. Um,
Especially if it's about the personal stuff. Yeah,
yeah,
it's
it's
from
about personal stuff. Yeah.
yeah, it's mostly from my head.
Okay. What's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Stop drawing and start sculpting.
How do you celebrate little victories?
I drink.
What do you drink?
Rum, gin, uh, or Madeira.
Yeah, okay. I'll be down. All right, sounds good. I know I'm not invited, but since like you never asked.
No,
Anyway,
I do sometimes like online like drinking streams with
okay, fine. Yeah, okay, I'd be down. All right, we can talk about that after the recording. So, and then the final one, what's your backup career?
I will go back to my village and start to work on the as agricultural
Yeah, like a
farmer.
farmer. Oh,
Farmer,
really?
yes, yes, yes. Why not?
Okay, okay, that's amazing. Well, right, that's kind of it. Good job. You didn't exceed the
Okay.
sentence limit. And yeah, well, Sadan, thank you so much. I hope your first podcast interview was not as horrible as it could have been.
Well, I don't know.
No, I loved it. I loved it. I like, it's like the story is definitely like super different and just like very interesting. Anyway, so thanks for sharing all of this and for sharing your, sculpt up tips. That was really cool. And yeah, I would love to catch up back again, maybe in a year when it's closer to the next sculpt off. And,
Yes, I will. I think and I hope to visit ZBrush Summit in person because actually, when I started to learn ZBrush, videos from ZBrush Summit were probably most useful tutorials for me.
interesting.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. So actually, I watched some other tutorials, but back in those days, and then in like 4 years ago, uh, I mean, now you have much more tutorials.
Yeah, of course, it kind of grows exponentially every day.
Yes, yes. But back in those days, people was showing some like really cool stuff
Right. Yeah.
during those presentation. I was like, oh, I need to watch it. I need to remember it. Oh, they can make it so cool. I need to learn how to do it. And that's why, and every year, guys from Pixologic makes me even more excited because every time they are showing some new stuff, it's definitely stuff that you're gonna use like every time. And I think that this community, like ZBrush community, it's one of the best among every community that can be existed because they are super open to people and amount of different tutorials, tips and tricks, that kind of thing that they have even on their official channel. It's
Yeah,
like
I know. It's like I agree. It's super,
hundreds
super
and
supportive.
thousands
Yes.
of hours. It's
Yeah.
like that's why when people ask me on the streams, oh, what can you advise how to start to learn ZBrush? How much time does it take? What tutorials should I watch? And I'm like, come on, just go to Pixologic channel and that's enough. Like
Yeah.
totally enough.
Yeah, I agree. Although, like, I also understand that at times it can be somewhat overwhelming because when you are presented with like hundreds of thousands of hours, like, Jesus Christ, where do I start? And, like, how do I make sense out of this? But yes, of course, like, all the information is out there and they're really supportive. I'm totally
No,
on the same
for
page with you
that,
on that.
you need to just watch the streams where people actually do something, because every streamer do like no matter what subject they do, because you know that there's pretty different styles, pretty different
Yeah.
subjects on that stream. So actually, if you're just starting, you can take one streamer and watch his streams like from beginning to the end, and you know his pipeline, you know all the stuff that he using, and you also you can ask anything from him.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a
Yeah. No,
good
of course.
tutorial as well, you
Yeah.
know.
Well, good tip, Sadan. All right. So thanks so much for sharing everything. And I'll put like the link to your streams also in the show notes. That's cool. Yep. Awesome. All right. Thanks so much for being on the show. I'm going to turn up the recording and yeah, chat later.
Okay, super cool. Thank you for inviting me.
No problem. Thanks so much for listening, guys. I hope you did enjoy this episode and the look of Sadan's cave. That was definitely my favorite part. And what was yours? Drop us that in the comment. I would really like to know what exactly you find interesting about the podcast and what questions actually you would like to ask all these artists that we invite on the show. Well, and also to get notified about the next episode, you can subscribe to the channel and activate this little bell alarm that is right next to the subscribe button. So in case you have this activated, you'll get a notification whenever the next episode goes live. But by default, it's just next Friday. And I'm looking forward to talking to more artists. All right, guys. See you pretty soon. That was Maria JD. Ciao.
Thanks for listening to Art Heroes Podcast. Check out www.artheroes.co for show notes, more interviews, and free tools made for you by our team of mentors. Tune in next week for more inspiration, and keep up the great work, hero.